guys have any questions about the TikTok shop, recording, monetizing on TikTok, or even Amazon influencer program, just let me know. That's pretty much what we're talking about today. All right, let's see. When do I actually get paid? All right, when do I actually get paid from the TikTok shop? Now, the TikTok shop is very unique. In fact, all of TikTok is pretty much really, really friendly to creators. And this is one of the reasons why I absolutely love working with TikTok. Particularly, I've been on a ton of different programs with them. I've done UGC content, advertisements, the TikTok shop. There's so many other programs too, but that's just to name a few. So with them, they pay you weekly. So every single week you get paid. Of course, there is a delay. If you're going to do something, say at the beginning of the week, you're not going to get paid the same week. It's going to be the week after. But you can see all the payment schedules in your content creator information. So you just go in that section and it'll tell you when your next payday is. So just look at that. It's the easiest way to be like, oh, is it going to be this week or is it going to be next week? But they do pay you right away. And that's what's so nice about the TikTok shop program or the TikTok creator program, you could say, is that they do pay you pretty frequently. Unlike Amazon, if you're an influencer for Amazon, it takes 90 days. 90 days. So essentially the content that is selling right now on my my Amazon account, my Amazon affiliate account, I won't see that until like the end of December, the beginning of January, which is crazy to think. But that's how long it takes to essentially get paid through Amazon. They have a 90-day leeway, which can be nice too, because you can predict obviously what's to come. You can be like, oh, okay, how much did I make 3 months ago? Okay, well, that's what I'm expecting to make this month. And so essentially you can kind of like offset that when you buy inventory for reviewing more products. You can essentially put on a credit card, you can buy a bunch of inventory and know that the check is going to come to pay that back. All right. And that's the way you can grow your business as well. And I've done that tons of times. Okay. So let's see. What else do we got here? If you have any particular questions, feel free to ask. Let's see, how much time do we got? Okay, we've only been here 31 minutes. We've covered quite a bit already. I'm actually quite surprised. I'm just flowing through this today. All right. I'm going to be back tomorrow too on live. And for whatever reason, if you're just now hopping in, all of the stuff that I'm telling you on this live stream, I will download it. And over the next few days, it will be posted on the page. So make sure you're following the page. Oh, all right, so let's see. Let me see what other questions I have here. Okay, let me go back to the other screen. Okay, other questions that I have. We already answered that one. We already answered that. How do you know? Okay, we already answered that. How long does it take to start seeing results on the TikTok shop? So we're talking about being a creator on the TikTok shop. So essentially there is no rhyme or reason at all, just like any business at all. And I've been self-employed for over 20 years now, for 2 decades. So I definitely know this. There is no consistent income in the TikTok shop. And even though people are like, oh, I made, XYZ amount this month and I made XYZ this week, it's not consistent. Just like any business owner can tell you, some months are going to be amazing and other months you're going to be like, really? Like, I didn't even make $1. Is this really worth my time and energy and effort? So just like any business knows, after some time, you're going to have credit that you're going to leverage to keep your business going. Remember, this is a business. Think of it as a business. So the months that you do great, double down. Buy the inventory, review the products, push. And the times that it's doing wonderfully, you're going to push even harder because you're doing great. It's amazing. Something's working and you don't know exactly what most times, but something's working. You're going to double down on that and you're going to rake in all that hard work at once. You're going to harvest all your work. And then just know that there's always going to be a downturn to come, okay? There's always a downturn in every single business. It might not be for 5 years from now, but eventually it will come. So be prepared for that. And the only way you can be prepared is just know that eventually you're going to run into something. All right. And so let's see, can TikTok Shop actually pay me enough to replace my full-time income? Well, it all really depends what you make, right? I do want to give you some encouragement because I just heard of this yesterday. This guy was saying that he started a year ago, so I think 365 days ago, and he was making $230. It was like $38, and I wrote it down because I was actually pretty surprised. I don't hear people making $238,000 a year normally, and I can't remember what industry he was in, but he was pretty high up there. He said it was a really big corporate position he worked in for years, like decades. And he said he decided to do TikTok Shop because he wanted to have more home time to stay home with his family. And so he went all in. So all free time he was reviewing everything he can find on the TikTok Shop. And he said it took him a few months to initially start building that income. And a year later, he got enough income from brand deals, he was also selling a course at the time. He was doing creator program. He was doing the TikTok Shop. So he came up with all these different ways that he can maximize his revenue. And he says he makes over $238,000 within that year. It took him a year though, okay, of consistently building on income streams. So, you can do it. Of course, everybody's story is different. You can't look at somebody else and be like, why ain't I there? Why ain't I making that money? Why ain't I there? Because your situation is going to be different. How you view the TikTok Shop is going to be different from the next person. A lot of people fail just because they don't believe in themselves for long enough. I should say they might believe in themselves for the first couple of weeks, the first couple of months, but something hits, like you get sick or you have a birthday party to attend, or your son or daughter want you to do something else, and that's great and all. Great, do that because that's why you're essentially building this life, right? But you also have to set aside time to build your business. It's very important that, not only you set aside time for your family and your other obligations and your other responsibilities, but you also set a time, more time, even more time to your business. So whatever free time that you would have had, like watching television or even, coming up with that new fancy recipe, every minute you're doing something else, you could be building your business, okay, is what I'm essentially trying to tell you. So, I'm not saying don't live your life, just be reasonable, okay? Make sure that you're spending more time on your business than anything else that you do in your free time, and assess that free time and be like, okay, I've only got so many hours in my day, like say this weekend. I'll give you that for an example. This weekend, I've been really wanting to go to the pool with my family, right? But it has been really busy, not only with house repairs, but other obligations that I have. Also building this whole other system on the back end for our own content distribution, because I have multiple channels. And it's been taking all my free time, right? And I've been saying, okay, well, this weekend I'm going to go to the pool, okay, with my family. This weekend I'm going to go to the pool with and every weekend there's always been something. So I wrote on the calendar, I was like, okay, this Sunday I am going to the pool for 4 hours and then I can come home and work, right? So that was a mental clarity thing. And this was last week. So I said that like on Tuesday. And so all week I was like, okay, I already blocked that time mentally. I already made sure that I was planning for that time. And I enjoyed the whole day with my family that day. And we actually stayed longer because I ended up getting up earlier that day and doing all my work earlier that morning that I didn't even have to worry about doing it in the evening. So again, even if you kind of just mentally plan it and write it down on the calendar, sometimes that can help too. Because now okay, well, I've got this thing coming up and I can't, neglect it. I got to do that too, but I got to find time that I might have been watching television or reading a book, or maybe I got caught in a conversation and just didn't think, or went to go play with my dog outside or something. You gotta remember, you only have so much time. So you only got so much time to decide if you're gonna actually work on your business or you're just gonna say you're gonna work on your business, right? Okay. So let's see here. What else do we got here? Okay, we just did that one. We did that one. We did that one. We did that one. Okay, what is the fastest way to get brand deals on the TikTok shop? All right, so I don't want you to worry so much about brand deals, especially when it's your first year, 2 years on the TikTok shop. Like, don't even worry about getting a single brand deal. Just be focused on what you already have. There's so many products now on the TikTok shop. You guys are so lucky. Like, when I first started the TikTok shop, there was really, really nothing on it. Like, nothing. You had to buy absolutely everything. Like, you couldn't even get it on Amazon. You had to get it on TikTok. There was no real companies that were giving you anything worth your time to even promote, because the commission was so low and they only had like 100 available in stock. So it really wasn't even worth it. So you guys are so blessed and lucky. There's so much variety on the TikTok shop right now. You can literally look it up. You can screen capture it just like you can do on Amazon. There is a feature where you can take a photo of things in your house and see if it's on the TikTok shop. Do those first. And do those for the first 2 years. Like, literally, don't care about the trending products. Don't care about, buying something. You can buy stuff, but don't buy it on the prejudice of that it's going to sell. Because something that sells really well for somebody else doesn't mean it's going to sell really well for you. And we went over this at the beginning. A lot of the